Okay, y'all, so let's do some hip around the world. So when it comes to doing hip exercises, this is gonna be super helpful for hip discomfort itself. The knee is typically at mercy of what's going on at the ankle and the hip, so it can be super beneficial for knee discomfort and lower back pain. So if the hips are having to take over or they're not quite strong enough and your back is having to do more work, then that's gonna create issues as well as just imbalances in the hip overall. So what we're gonna do is a hip around the world. With a hip around the world, you want something to hold on to. So you can use the back of a chair, you can use a countertop. The most important thing is that you're able to, you can even use a wall, right? Like you can be here against the wall and I can go through all these exercises. But the most important part is that it's something that you can be light with. So I'm gonna have support here, but I'm not holding on, I'm not death gripping, I'm not leaning into it. I'm just gonna have light fingertips here. And then we do wanna have it on the same side as the load leg. So the load leg is gonna be the one that stays planted to the floor. This is actually gonna be the side that you feel more of the burn going on while this one is moving around. All right, so we've got light fingertips here. And then for around the world, essentially what that means is we're going to do hip flexion, hip abduction, abduction, and then hip extension. And then we can also do hip adduction, ADD, adduction. So it gets a little bit of everything. For this, we're gonna make sure that we've got our core properly engaged. We don't wanna be standing like this. We don't wanna do our extensions like this. We wanna make sure that we can pull that core belly button in and up, right? Maintain neutral spine here. Too much of us, like we stand with our legs fully extended and then we arch our back. So we wanna, no hyperlordosis here. And then we have these toes facing forward. So this foot's gonna maybe want to be with those toes turned out a little bit. I'm gonna try and pull you away from that a little bit. And then we've got light fingertips here. We've got our core engaged, chest is raised, and we're gonna start with hip flexion. So what that means is I'm gonna take this foot and I'm gonna just gently flex it, and then I'm gonna lift it straight up. So notice that while I do this, my hips stay level. If I start doing this, now I've just turned it into a back exercise. I'm no longer utilizing the hip. So we wanna make sure we've got light hands here, and we're coming down and up, just barely touch. And this is staying still. Good, and you'll do your reps there. Then when you go into abduction, also this knee stays relaxed the entire time. So I'm not locking it out. I've got just a slight, move my other leg, just a slight bend to it, okay? And then when we go into abduction, the most important thing here, what ends up happening are people lean like this, okay? But I want you to look at angles. If I lean my body this way, this leg's gonna have to come all the way to here before it's even neutral, right? So this is straight, this is straight. So if you start leaning to do this motion, I haven't done anything for this hip. I haven't done any true abduction. So we wanna have this knee relaxed, core engaged. I have a gentle thing here. And I have my weight shifted over, obviously, but I'm not leaning into it, and I'm gonna do abduction. So that way the movement is coming from the hip. I'm not lifting, right? My hips are still staying level, and I breathe. And then another important thing here is making sure that this toe doesn't turn outwards. Most of the time it's like this, right? That usually means I'm using other muscles to get that abduction where those are external rotators, those are not abductors. We wanna work just the abductors. Light pressure here. And I'm probably going a little bit too fast. Go a little bit slower. Good, and then you'll do your reps there. Then you've got extension. So for extension, you can turn and face this way, okay? We don't wanna be leaning here. We can do that, or obviously we can stay here. I'm gonna show you in both directions. We've got light pressure here. We've got the core engaged here. This one especially will be the most important. We've got this relaxed foot here. So I'm gonna start this just barely behind me. So that way I feel like I clear the floor. And then we're gonna extend and come back. Extend and come back. Now, important thing to watch here. Notice, I have a little bit of abduction, not a lot, right? And I have just maybe a teeny tiny bit of extension, not a lot. The reason for that is because people's actual, like if I were to go here and pure extension, there's not a whole lot of motion here, okay? But what we're doing is we're trying to strengthen and free up that space. So to perform this one, we allow just a little bit of abduction, little bit of external rotation. But notice I'm not here and I'm not here, right? I have core engaged, tucked, this knee's relaxed, back, back. And really, I'm not letting it go past hip width, okay? And then notice I'm not leaning downwards or arching my back. So if I were in this direction, core engaged, I'm here, back, back. So notice, take my shirt here, tighten it up for you. So notice I'm not doing this, right? Engage, here, back, back. So we're kind of isolating that and keeping it to the hip extension. And then when you're ready to do adduction, we're gonna kick this foot just barely in front. This knee's still relaxed, still just slight fingertips here. And we're just gonna squeeze this leg into this leg. And notice my hips didn't shift. I'm not doing this, right? My hips are staying level. Here, squeeze, squeeze. There you go, y'all. And that is hip around the world.